Now, what is on your mind? People don't know how important mental health treatment is. All right, I'm going to give you this paper. It has feelings on it. I want you to point out what you're feeling, okay? Oh, frustrated. Explain. People don't know that
43.8 million American adults experience mental illness in a given year, and also nearly 60% of adults with a mental illness didn't receive mental health services in the previous year. So,
according to the National Institute of Mental Health, there are about 1 in 5 U.S. adults live with a mental illness, or approximately 51.5 million in 2019.
45% of the adults with mental illness will usually get treatment. Out of that, 45% in a given year. 66% if they have a serious mental illness, and then 51% of youth usually get some treatment.
Oh, and there was a survey conducted by the Harris Poll that saw that 81% of teens say that mental health is a significant issue for young people in the U.S. Yeah. And still, with all these numbers, mental health treatment continues to be not affordable for everyone, and that needs to change. Oh, man. And due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the popularity and the feasibility of online therapy has skyrocketed.
The pandemic has exacerbated the problem of not enough professionals to help individuals with mental health issues in the U.S. and Vermont.
What COVID does is it brings mental health issues to the forefront of the conversation because we all are experiencing mental health issues. We're all experiencing anxiety. The data show that 40% of Americans and 40% of Oklahomans are experiencing diagnosable depression and anxiety.
Between April, May, and June of this year, the growth in users was larger than the previous few years combined. So that just shows a significant growth in the demand.
Since the COVID-19 pandemic, the need for therapy has skyrocketed. But when there's such a demand for therapy, the supply, counselors, goes down. This causes many people to be left stuck and untreated, sometimes for months, before they can finally have access to a counselor.
At the beginning, I might have only been seeing 4 clients a day, and it was great. But since COVID's hit and more people want to be seen, I am taking on a lot more clients and working a lot more hours than I ever thought that I would or than I ever wanted to work.
I think we could see some kind of shortage in the supply, right? There's going to be way more people looking for online counseling services, but it doesn't mean that all of a sudden we have way more therapists available. If anything, the number of available therapists taking new clients, I don't think that's substantially grown.
There's not enough of us. And then even if there are, there's a high burnout rate, because I don't think people have realized during the pandemic is the amount of stress and pressure that a lot of these therapists throughout the United States have been put through to have to take on more clients and to listen to things that we never thought we'd ever have to listen to. Because some of the stories I've had to listen to, there wasn't enough training to ever have to make me listen to this, because this was an unprecedented time.
It's important to treat mental health because it's vital to our overall health.
Mental health is how you experience being alive.
Your mental health, it affects how you do in school, your focus, your concentration, and affects your life, how happy you are.
If you don't tend to your mental health needs, and if you don't tend to your emotional needs, you can start spiraling into a very dark place.
And people deserve to have mental health treatment because that's what makes them feel like they're part of society. That's what keeps businesses booming.
I'm sorry to stop you, but that is all the time we have for today's session. Your total will be $100 today. Yeah, for a 45-minute session, it is $100. This is not just an exaggeration. This is what really happens. According to goodtherapy.org, many insurance companies often don't support therapist diagnosis or don't provide adequate mental health coverage underneath their plans.
If you didn't have insurance, some counselors, they don't take certain insurances, and it could be $120 a session.
Several huge insurance companies have lost giant lawsuits over this exact issue, really proving no, you can't discriminate.
The law these insurance companies are breaking? The Mental Health Parity Law. This law requires insurance companies to treat physical health the same as mental health, yet we still only treat mental health when it gets too serious.
If half of all people living with cancer had no treatment in the previous year, we would be outraged as a country.
We don't treat someone with cancer the same we would someone with severe depression, and this is the problem. We need to push treating physical health the same as mental health.
We also need to move away from a standard that says you don't get care until you're dangerous.
As a solution to this issue, look no further than this statement made by Mental Health America, which says that the federal government should increase funding for safety net services so that providers are adequately reimbursed to keep pace with inflation, and that enough quality providers are available to serve those that need help. Mental health is in the forefront now. All that's left to decide is how we will deal with it. Will it get treatment? Or will it get told that its problems aren't severe enough yet?